It is March 25, our 24th day on the water, and we've got full moon setting, the sun rising. What an incredible sight. Truly, this is beautiful. It's another day of very low wind. We're averaging about 3.5 to 4 knots, but at least we have wind and enough wind to keep the parasail up. But our arrival date now is April 4th, so hopefully we can keep the parasail afloat, and as long as we're doing 3 or 4 knots, we're gonna keep the engines off. So it might be a very, very long 10 more days. Oh well, at least we've got these beautiful sunrises to wake up to. We have a little bit of an issue with some chafing, we think, at the top of the parasail, so we're gonna pull it down and take a look at it. But we can see that the donut has been chafing, and here, right above the clew, you can see a line that's come loose that we can see flipping around up there too. So we've got to get it down and see if we can repair it. So the chafing is not as bad as we thought, but we definitely have some chafing going on.
Yeah. What is that caused by?
It's caused by this.
How's the damage on that? You see,
yeah, there's a little bit of damage, but not much.
Francesco charging a modeling fee this morning.
15 centimeters is what people added to the soft shackle at the top of the sock.
It's longer, so
we got 2 soft shackles.
It's higher up.
Okay.
It doesn't create any chafe.
Very good.
You think it's long enough? It's longer than it was.
Do we want
This is like
15 centimeters? 20 centimeters?
Okay, so we had the sewing kit out here, and Francesco suggested, which I think is a great idea, sewing in the soft shackles to make sure they don't come detached, because then you got to pull the sail back down.
Oh, it's pulled down, it'll come
It comes down, right. You don't want that happening. All you need is a little thread. And here we have our seamstress. Hi, Eileen. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
Very good.
Very thankful. It's not worse than it was. So I just have been kind of watching it every day because I'm like, I don't know, just...
Why are they saying don't pop your donuts so much?
They said they'll chafe and pop. Okay, so we fixed 2 problems. 1, we stopped the chafing, and 2, we've extended the Dyneema that connects the head of the sail to the snuffer sock. That way the sock sits up higher on the sail and won't create any chafing. But we've just found another problem. As we were resocking the sail, I found some of the wing lines were disconnected. So now we need to go through and figure out how to reconnect those lines.
So we have some loose ends, literally, that
Francesco, can we do it
need to
this
tie
way?
back
Like
in.
slowly going through, or no? I guess we gotta lay it out.
Well, we need to count these
The lines?
these lines,
Okay.
which are many.
What we're doing here is going through this red line by red line to the attachment point to make sure that we have the right line going to the right attachment point. What I mean by attachment point are these little things.
Oh, brown.
Yep.
Is that connected on the...
Oh yeah, I got it. Here. Yeah, we got it.
One more.
Francesco, what kind of knot are you tying on that?
It's kite surfing knot.
Special secret? Special trade secret?
Open and close, it's very simple.
Next.
What happens if they're crisscrossed? Is it really bad?
No, it's just moving. There is no
Yeah, but
pressure
you
here.
have to fix
so-
it anyway. I don't want to give the wrong tension.
All right, we are ready. We have fixed several of the lines in the kite, and we've untwisted it, and now we're spraying the donut with silicone.
So babe, I'm just getting these parts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Just the part that's going to hit the sail.
Okay.
In here.
Oh, in here too? Okay. All right, got it. Okay, I'll get the inside of it.
Yeah. So we're really thankful. The chafing was not nearly as bad as what we thought it was going to be. We really thought we were going to have to sew a big part of the sail. And then we found some strings loose, and thank goodness Francesco and Yuka are kiters. They knew exactly what to do, so they helped put the strings back together again. And now we are hoisting her. Red is on the wrong side. Well, we tied the strings, but they are in the wrong place. So the sail is not flying correctly. And now we didn't mark them, so we don't know which strings are wrong. So I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do at this point. It might be the end of the oxlip. Yuka's method to trying to fix our wing is to raise the parasail so we can see the wing at eye level and then be able to work on it.
And that's the wing.
But if we don't open the window, we never understand what's crossed.
Okay, so let me just pull this slowly this way and see what you think.
Grab for you.
Oh, it's nice right there. We're getting a better view, much better view. We just found a cross line over there, and we are uncrossing it. Francesco's retying, so that's 1 out of 3.
And this one, can you see? This is the left
Oh yeah,
hand,
right.
goes wrong.
Good job. And we just found the other crisscross line. We just found the 3rd issue.
But we untied only 3.
Chances are good. What are our odds, Francesco?
Our odds are good.
Odds are good. We peg him with 100%. I thought we appeased King Neptune. He must be mad at us.
We successfully used the Yuka method to straighten out the lines that had come undone in the wing. It worked out really, really well. After we did this, we did not take enough time to carefully make sure that when we put the sock back over the sail that it was not twisted. So when we raised it the first time, the sail was twisted.
Nice job.
Yep, well, that's because we stuffed it. The second time we tried to raise it, the bridle was twisted and the sail went up with the bridle in the back, which is really, really bad. It's really bad because you can't snuff the sail when it's in the back because it's going to tear the wing apart. It's backwards! Brown, you need to bring it down! So we learned a really great trick. So I'm actually glad that this happened. We needed to take the wind out of the sail, and Francesco very wisely had us put out the jib. And when we unfurled the jib took all of the wind out of the parasail, and then by hand we were able to pull the sail in. So if you have a serious situation where either the wind kicks up way too much or you make a mistake like we did, you can always take the wind out of the sail by unfurling the jib and taking the wind out of it. So that was a really valuable lesson that we learned, and one that I want to pass on to you guys.
Wow, we thought yesterday was a bit of a disaster, having to troubleshoot with the engine, and today has proven itself to be quite the challenge with the parasail. But we think that we're just about to figure this out. It's a very complex sail with lots of tie downs in order for it to achieve its unique shape and function. So it's been quite a puzzle to figure out where the loose spectral lines are, but I think we figured it out using the Yuka method. Go baby, way to go!
Thank you.
Grind it baby, grind it!
Okay, no kidding, like 6 hours later, the parasail is finally up. Oh my gosh, that was insane. this is our second Q&A, answering questions from our viewers, and we are excited to jump right in. So the first question is from Caroline. Caroline has asked us, how long are we planning to spend in French Polynesia? We are planning to spend at least 1 year. We have a year-long visa that was approved by the French Embassy in Panama City. So we're gonna take full advantage of that and spend at least a year there, maybe 2, depending on how much we enjoy it. So time will tell.
Normally what you get if you do not plan ahead and get a long-term visa, you get a 90-day visa. And we just figure we've come all this way. It's taken us about 90 days to get there. And by the way, we're 2 days out right now and there's no wind and we're just motoring. We have the option, once the 1 year is up, to go ahead and roll into a 2 year. Unless something crazy happens, we'll probably stay here for 2 years.
Thanks, Caroline, for that question.
Thank you.
Next question is from Chris. Chris asked, how often do we have to refill our water?
One of the things is it depends on if it's rainy season or not.
And it depends on how much people on our boat are using.
That's true. And how big are your tanks? How much can you store determines how much you would make in any one particular given time.
So we have 3 tanks, 2 100 gallons and 1 50-gallon tank. And we have a reverse osmosis water maker, and it can make about 17, 18 gallons per hour. So it's quick to be able to refill our tanks. It's not a problem.
You always want to keep a buffer in place in case something happens to your water maker. We're very conservative when it comes to water.
Together we use about 14 gallons a day, right? And that is everything: cooking, drinking water, showering.
So we've let it go out to maybe a month before we have to refill our tanks. During rainy season, it's great because we can put buckets out. We have like gutters, drains rainwater. We can use that for washing clothes, washing dishes, and also we have a way to filter it and put it back in our tanks. We can make our water go a long way during rainy season. Lots of variables to that. Thanks for asking.
All right, the next question is from Jenny, and she asks, how do we handle bad weather? We do not like bad weather out here, that's for sure.
Have we even figured out how we handle it?
Well, first of all, the first way you prepare for bad weather is you monitor your weather internet sites, so you know it's coming. If you know it's coming, that's half the battle. So we monitor weather every single day, several times a day,
like a hawk,
to ensure that we know what's coming, because then we can at least prepare for it, whether that's dropping sails or reefing our sails, making them smaller. But inevitably we're going to run into bad weather out here. It
hate it when that happens.
It's just the way it is.
Basically, powering down is the key. The Admiral touched on it just briefly, reefing. And what that means is reducing the sail area. The sails, when they come in contact with wind, it's very powerful. It puts a lot of force on the rigging.
So if you have too much sail up, then the pressure from the wind can actually take your mast off of the boat. And that can be a very dangerous situation. So we always want to sail conservatively. At night, we reef our sails to be more conservative. Or if we think there are going to be storms, we might only sail with the jib instead of the mainsail, so that we can easily pull the jib in. If the storm is super strong behind us, we will turn the boat and go with the storm until it passes by, because all of these storms will pass you by at some point. It just means you've got to weather it if you can. So out here it's pretty easy because you're not going to hit any other boats, and you're not going to run into any islands because we're out in the middle of the Pacific. So this is actually quite easy. One other thing that we also make sure of is that when we move from one place to another, we do it in the right season. So we're not moving through hurricane season in hurricane areas. When we make a passage, we make sure that we are picking a really good weather window. We'll wait for that. Since we're crossing the Pacific Ocean right now, we are following the guidelines of what we know to be the best time to cross the Pacific. All right, our last question of the day is from Camille, and Camille has asked us, how do we communicate with other boats? And there are 2 ways that we can do that. One is through our VHF radio, and the other is via Starlink. We've already talked about Starlink in a previous video Q&A. So today we can talk about VHF, and we used that this morning actually when another boat came within 10 miles of us and we wanted to say hello.
That's more of a visual thing. It's a line of the horizon type communication, and that is something that every boater is going to have, is a VHF. Now, not every boater is going to have internet. Basically, when you're out here, VHF is golden. Every boat's going to have it.
And everyone monitors the same channel.
Yes.
It's channel 16 or 16. In boat speak, we always say 16.
Yes.
But everyone monitors that channel. It's the emergency broadcasting channel. And out here, it doesn't matter if you stay on that channel because there are no other boats around. If you're somewhere else that has a lot of boat traffic, then you'd have to move to a different channel, and you agree to that before you move. One other thing I would say is I would guess about 95 to 99% of boats that we are in contact with all have Starlink now. So it is really a game changer for everyone, and it makes communication much easier. So today we communicated via VHF with this boat that we were not familiar with, and then we exchanged our WhatsApp information so that we could communicate more easily via WhatsApp. So that's an easier way to do it versus VHF, which will wake everyone up as well if it's during the night.
There's also certain lingo and rules used for VHF communications. In the Mediterranean, actually, you have to have a license to do it. And when we were with Captain Ben,
we took the class. One of us took the class.
And this is where you have to do the Alpha, Bravo, all that stuff. You have to learn all the terms. Many of them are French. They've got a lot of history behind them. VHF communication skills are very important.
Could be life or death.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Camille. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks so much for your support. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.